The New York Jets on Sunday played a fantastic defensive game against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, albeit Green Bay's offense this year has not been all of that. But the Jets' 17-point win over Green Bay gives us a very clear idea of where this franchise is headed. Right now, I look at the top teams in the NFL. I cannot name 10 better teams than the Jets. Defensively, they're getting back to that root of the Rex Ryan identity. Quinnen Williams impacting the game in multiple phases. Blocked field goal, 7 pressures, multiple sacks, a strip sack. Sauce Gardner, so far, I would say the rookie of the year defensively. And then a bunch of depth and versatility. LaMarcus Joyner this year is healthy. CJ Mosley's getting back after basically 2 years off in 2019 in 2020. Carl Lawson's back from his torn Achilles, and John Franklin Myers in the middle of defensive tackle. This Jets defense is well on its way to taking flight. They're not top 10 or top 5 just yet, but they will be by the end of the season. And right now, we are seeing a young running back in New York, not only Saquon Barkley, but Breece Hall, that is bringing the versatility and all-around production that Jet fans hoped they would get from Le'Veon Bell 3.5 years ago. Except it's a rookie making much, much less money. For Zach Wilson, it hasn't been very easy in his first 3 weeks back from injury. The offensive line has been very inconsistent, wobbly. The receivers, Elijah Moore, voiced his dissatisfaction with 0 targets in the Packers game. My apologies. And still, the New York Jets are 4-2, better than any team in the AFC North. And keep in mind, the first 4 weeks of the season for them, they played every team in the North. They've beaten a handful of playoff teams. And now, Brandon, I'm going to say it, the Jets are a top 5 team in football. Let me repeat it for the people in the back. The New York Jets, right now, on October 17th, 2022, are a top 5 team in the NFL.
Nope. Nope. You need to be. Oh my God. Okay. I don't even know where to begin. First off, I can name 10 teams off the top of my head better than the New York Jets. But what you just said is just it's really befuffled me. Like I am. What do you what do you mean they're a top 5 like currently going forward? What do you how is this even do you realize Zach Wilson completed 10 passes yesterday, right?
You realize they went 1 of 11 on third down and still beat Aaron Rodgers, right?
Okay, but the Packers are not a good team. We're seeing that. And we all had our what's the word I'm looking for? Our worries about the Packers going into the season. We all did. I I really don't know where to go with the top 5 team. What do you like?
Top 5 defense, top 10 team in football.
Oh, okay. But still, top 10 team. I can't get on board with that. I can't get on board with that. No,
This is the
because
type of team that's going to get better as the year goes on.
Now let's introduce to you guys BetStamp. Now BetStamp is a all-in-one marketplace because every sports book has different odds. On FanDuel, they got Detroit Lions at plus 194. Oh, those are good odds. You know, I'm getting an underdog at a good price. But wait, Sugar House has them at plus 215. Get a little bit more bang for your buck, and that's what it's all about when you're betting. You can track all your bets through all the sports books, and I'll have that right there in one convenient place for you to look. And our referral code is WISEGUYS, WISEGUYS. That's Wise Guys. And like I was saying, the biggest thing with BetStamp, guys, it's free.
they're better than Miami.
Without Tua, yes. With Tua,
Well, Tua's
no.
coming back. We know that. I'm pretty sure Tua's starting next week.
With Tua, no.
Okay. They're not better than Buffalo, right? Okay. And I don't know where you stand with this, but this is what I would say. Who did the Jets play last week? Do you remember off the top of your head? Who did they play last week? Was it? I seriously can't remember. Did you actually know?
You throw me into a gaze. I thought the Steeler game was the week before.
Okay, they played Miami last week. Okay, Miami. With the seventh round kid, Teddy Bridgewater got knocked out. Okay. So they won against that game, but that we obviously know Tua is coming back, and you just said you agree. So they've got New England twice coming up still. Sit here and say right now, New England Patriots' last two wins have been far more impressive than the Jets' last two wins.
How about the Jets starting off the year 2-1 with Joe Flacco?
No, I didn't say that. My statement was the last two wins, the last 2 weeks, the New England Patriots have been far more impressive than the New York Jets. Bailey Zappi has actually played much better than Zach Wilson.
1-2. My apologies. The Jets were not 2-1 to start. I was wrong there.
We held the Detroit Lions going into that week, the number one scoring offense, 0 points. We got shut out. Goose egg. Then we come back and we played the number one running game in the NFL. If I'm not mistaken, it might be number two now, but I think it was number one coming into that week with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Nick Chubb had 56 yards rushing, and Kareem Hunt had less than 20 yards off the top of my head. Shut them down. Bailey Zappi threw for 300 plus yards. John, so I ask you, because the Jets and Patriots play next, not this upcoming week, but the week after. So in 2 weeks. I'm telling you right now, the New England Patriots are going to beat the New York Jets.
Brandon, beating them is one thing. Being the better team at the end of the season is a completely different one. Last year, the Jets started the most rookies in the NFL. This year, they were starting 4 of them. This is one of the youngest teams in the league that, over the last 3 weeks, has just continued to get better and better. I was wrong before. They didn't start the year 1-2 or 2-1. They started 1-2, and since then, they're 3-0 with Zach Wilson. And Zach, he hasn't had the production, but given what he's being placed into, the situation, he's constantly under pressure. He can't always progress through all of his reads, and the receiving core is young still. This team is only going to improve as the year goes on, and given the discipline this defense has continued to build and the star talent across the roster, in 15 weeks, I said to myself, the Jets can easily be playing playoff, not 15, 13 weeks. The Jets can easily be playing a wild card game.
But I'll go even more for the Patriots are sweeping the Jets this year. Yeah. Zach Wilson played well against us. His last year was his rookie year. Both games he played like garbage. The first game was terrible. He had 4 interceptions. And then the second game he got knocked out. I think in the second quarter, if I'm not mistaken. I'm forgetting off the top of my head. And he was playing bad up until that point. Like what do you think is going to change this year? Is our defense actually? Let me ask you this, because I'm pretty sure you and Justin both said that the Patriots defense was worse coming into this year than it was last year. You still agree with that statement? Seeing what we've done, especially the last 2 weeks.
They've done what New England always does.
Yeah.
Developing
But no, but
unexpected
that's a cop out. That's a cop out answer. Our defense is just fine, which I said it was going to be just fine. I said top 10. We're easily top 10. Easily. Zach Wilson, what does New England do best defensively? What does Bill do best? Take away what you're best at. What do the Jets do best? Run the football, would we say, on offense? They run the football. Look what we just did to the number one running team in football. Do you think Breece Hall is going to have a big day? So we're going to make Zach Wilson beat us. So those 10 completions, that ain't going to work, buddy. Those 14 last week, I'm pretty sure he had, that ain't going to work, Bubba.
The Jets have better weapons than Cleveland. At receiver and tight end? Yeah. I'll take Garrett Wilson, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, and Tyler Conklin over Amari Cooper, Donovan People-Jones, and David Bell.
Njoku.
He has that one game every couple of weeks.
It's okay. Jets is deeper, yes. But I think Amari Cooper clears everybody on the Jets. I still give Amari Cooper that credit. He's still a true number one receiver. But I'm not even. But again, we have one of the best secondaries in the league, and need I remind you? I don't think you knew this. Our best cornerback Jonathan Jones, he didn't play yesterday. No, he didn't play. He's going to play when we face the Jets in 2 weeks. You can believe that. So, again, your argument that the Jets are a top 10 team when you have disrespected my New England Patriots week after week after week. I want to hear your mouth say it because you know in your heart and you know in your head that when push comes to shove and when the money's pushed to the middle of the table, Zach Wilson ain't going to get it done against Bill Belichick led defense. Not going to happen.
They only play each other twice this year.
But
The
again,
Jets,
that's big though. That's huge. Those
the
are big
Jets,
games.
the Jets and New England are two teams who have been missing their young second-year quarterback for half the season. They have young, very good running back tandems or cores. Because Michael Carter, much like the Patriots they have a very nice duo at running back. The Jets, change of pace and a bell cow. But the Jets' weapons, I would take over them slightly. The offensive line.
Another thing I forgot because you brought up running backs. You know who else didn't play yesterday for the Patriots? Damian Harris. Continue.
The offensive line, the Patriots have a better one. No one's going to disagree or dispute that. But defensively, the Jets just have more upside. They have so many true blue chip prospects and guys that not only blue chips, but true guys that can take over games. Sauce Gardner this year has been phenomenal. Yesterday was playing out of his mind against Aaron Rodgers. This guy's just 6 weeks into his NFL career. Quinnen Williams is taking that huge step up, and we're seeing Robert Saleh's defense with the necessary personnel go from the dead last unit in the NFL last year to top 10 this year, and from here on out, it's only going up.
I would just say they're not a top 10 defense. I mean, sorry, not top 10 team. Again, we're getting our quarterback back that next week against the Bears, Monday night primetime game. Mac Jones is most likely going to play. I don't see it, man. Like, again, you say you see a lot more promise and talent on the Jets. And again, I keep saying this to you guys, you and Justin and everybody watching. Like, you guys get caught up in the talent so much. You really do. And maybe it's because I'm a New England Patriots fan that I understand it. Like, I see it in a different way a little bit because Bill is taking guys and he's coached them up to get the best of their abilities. So yes, is Sauce Gardner more gifted and talented than Jonathan Jones? Yeah, but Jonathan Jones is just playing better. And I know it's unfair to compare. He's a rookie and Jonathan Jones is, but Jonathan Jones was what, like I think a second or third round draft pick, maybe even lower. Sauce Gardner was a first round pick. I think he was top 10. If I don't know.
Six.
He was
Jonathan
exactly.
Jones went undrafted.
So again, so that even gives him even more credit. Thank you. So again, we got this kid Jack Jones, who's had two big games against the Packers, and then the game before that, the game after that, I'm forgetting. Detroit, yeah. He's playing really good. And he was a third or fourth round pick. We've got guys like I know that they're not big names. Like Devin McCourty is one of our biggest names. He's in the later years of his career. Matthew Judon is our best player probably on the entire team. He's phenomenal. But we don't have these, these guys that you're like, oh, I can start them off the name Von Miller, blah, blah, JJ Watt, whoever. We don't have that name value. But we got guys that compete. We got guys that do their job. We got guys that, most importantly, play smart football. And that's what it's about. We got to play smart football. And when push comes to shove, I trust a Bill Belichick-led team over a New York Jets team that has Zach Wilson under center. And like I've said before, and what I can keep saying because it's true, Zach Wilson, not special.
You only say that because you're a New England fan. Because every single week he has shown the arm talent, and given the offensive line is still not there, they're missing their left tackle, and Dwayne Brown's 37 years old, he has played really well given what he's being placed into. He's evading pressure, escaping sacks, and generally speaking, taking decent care of the football. after missing the first 3 weeks. This is basically an extension of his
God.
rookie year.
Got
He
one
missed
touchdown to
so
2
many
interceptions.
reps.
He hasn't thrown a touchdown the last 2 weeks.